Hello, everyone. You've got the aging experts here, and we're so excited about the guest we're bringing to you today. Uh, we've visited with him a couple of times, and it's not on our show, but other places. And he's got a great story. But before I introduce him, I need to remind you that I am Carol Henderson, and I have
Life by Design.
thank you. Life by design. It's, it's been a full day. It's been a full day. And as y'all know, we are real here. We don't edit our videos. So you get us just like you get us. So I'm Carol Henderson with Life by Design. And we are excited for today. But before we go to Clifford, let me introduce my wonderful co-host, Miss Barbara Ellison.
Well, hi everybody. Yeah, I'm Barbara Ellison. I'm the founder of the Wellness Playroom. And because we deserve to live happy, healthy, financially free, abundant lives. And so that's a little bit what we're going to be talking about today, of how to do that and what Clifford does to help people to also do that. And one of the things that I love about this show is that we can all be supportive of all of us, of each other. I truly believe that we are now going into more of an age of that this is all cooperation, or, rather than competition. There is plenty of room for all of us, and we can all help each other. And I truly believe that we can do more together than we ever could on our own. And as more and more people are starting to understand that and feel that and want to have more impact in the world, that's where we're going to make more impact in the world through what all of us do. Because we all do stuff that's slightly different. We all talk in a different voice, but we all want the same things. We want people to be happy, healthy, financially free, abundant, those kinds of things. So, Clifford, I am so excited to have you here. We know each other from another couple of other groups, and but I truly believe that we all come together for a reason. So, Clifford, tell us about you and how you came to be doing, what you do, who you serve, why you do it, what your mission is to make a difference in the world.
Yeah.
What
So,
brought you to this point?
yeah, my name is Clifford Starks, and I want to influence 1 billion people. What brought me to the point was I know how hard life can be, and I know how strong the human spirit can be. And when you get past some of those difficult times, you not only realize how strong you are, you want to remind others how strong they are, because they have to get through their own difficult times, and it's about I help you, you help me, we help each other. We rise together.
Right.
And I didn't know it at first. I wanted to influence 1 billion people because I really wanted the world to heal. I wanted people to be in a better place. And what I didn't realize was every person that I influence, they influence me as well. And so there's kind of a give and take going on. So as I go through my process of influencing 1 billion people, that's also going to be 1 billion people influencing me and my journey and helping me be the best leader I can be for others.
Right. Exactly. I think I love that African proverb that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together.
Yeah.
Band together, because we can really do more together than we ever can on our own.
Mm-hmm.
Like one of my favorite sayings is that, we have to get along with the people around us because we can't do life on our own.
Yeah.
So why not get along with them well, be kind, be proactive, help them, and they will help you. Because we all need help sometimes of some things.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But anyway, so tell us about what you actually do to help to do that.
Before that,
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, Carol's going to butt in.
Okay.
Of course, that's my job.
That's your job.
Title on this show.
Yes.
Where did you start from, Clifford? Where are you from? Give us a little background.
Yeah, so I was born in California, Pomona, California, and real quick transition. So I was California, Chicago, back to California, and then to Arizona. And that all happened within a 7 year period. Um, Real quick, so 4, 5, and 6 were very transformational for me. So when I was 4, my biological dad drove out of my life. And I remember him driving away, and I knew he wasn't going to come back. It was very interesting. My mom said he would come back to visit. I knew he wasn't coming back. I didn't know I was an energy reader at that time, but now it's something that I know more clearly. But then at 5, my grandfather passed away. And I remember looking at the coffin and really just freaking out and freezing. Like it was talk about fight, flight, or freeze. Like I went into freeze mode. And I knew one day I would be in a coffin. Like that was my realization. I went through a process of saying, all right, I'm gonna die. And at 6, my mom remarried to the guy I call dad to this day. He's been there for me, he supported me. And I really, really took those 3 lessons and summed it up as, there's people who are supposed to be there for you, and they're not going to be there for you no matter what. They're supposed to, but they're not. There's people who don't have to be there for you, and they can choose to be there for you. And we're all going to die. So live as much life as you can, celebrate as much as you can, and support as much as you can. Whether it's someone who's supposed to be supporting you or they're not supporting you, um, there's a lot of layers behind something like that. And ultimately, I tell people follow their dream, because if they follow their dream and they collect their dream, they actually want to help others collect theirs.
Okay. Okay. So how did you transition from that child with that knowledge to where you are today?
Yeah, so my first transition was I was overweight. I didn't want to be overweight anymore. I wanted to be able to control that. And really, I'm going to fast forward, but I got my nutrition in place. I got my eating in place. I got the exercising in place. I did the pieces that I needed. And it wasn't as easy as I thought it was going to be. They talk about, yeah, just exercise and eat right. Well, yeah, if it was that simple, then everyone would just be doing it. So there's a whole process that you have to go through. So I went through that process, got in shape, became a really, really good athlete and a high level athlete. And I even got to fight in the UFC. I got to fight in Bellator, wrestled at ASU, and competed with the best of the best. I had the opportunity to compete with the best of the best. I retired from that because let me tell you, having a kid will change your trajectory in life. And so when I had my first kid, um, just to fast forward a story right now, I'll just say the risk was not worth the reward anymore. And I had to make a transition. So I'm like, you know what? It's probably pretty dangerous going inside of a cage with people of equal strength, skill, and ability who's trying to do the same thing I'm trying to do to them. So let me exit left and do something different. Um, what I didn't realize was I took one arena, I went out of one arena and really just walked into another arena. It's a completely different arena, but still felt like the punches and kicks were happening just in a different way. I was taking my entrepreneurial journey and wanting to influence 1 billion people. When you go through a transformation, you want other people to have the transformation that you went through. Now, the problem is the person that got the transformation, you got to go to where people are at, not to where you're at. And it was something that not only did I learn, but it's something that I have to continue to hold in my pocket because we are emotional beings. We do things through emotion. And so when we're excited about something and we're feeling really good about something, we want to yell it at the top of our lungs, and we want other people to feel the exact same way. But if they're not feeling that way, that's all they're hearing is a bunch of yelling, loud noise. So you got to tone it down, ask the right questions, figure things out, and then help them go through their transformational process. And so I say it's one transformation at a time. Now, the cool thing is one transformation can transform many lives. So when I said I want to influence 1 billion people, I was ready to talk to 1 billion people. Like, I was ready to go. Like, let's figure this out. Let's have some fun. And I realized, like, holy crap, 1 billion is a very big number. Like, I didn't realize how big of a number that was. I just kind of threw it out there into the ethers and hoped someone would catch it. But as I went further and further in my journey, people want big problems to be fixed. They're looking to get big problems fixed. And entrepreneurs are dreamers and they're dream chasers and they want big things in life. And so I go, oh, well, if I influence the big thinkers and the big doers and the big dreamers to do the thing that they need to do, now I only have to influence 1,000 entrepreneurs who want to influence 1 million people. And that's my billion. So if I just focus and hone in on those 1,000 and really teach them the lessons and the principles that are necessary to influence the masses, then it turns into something super, super powerful. And so that's what I focus on doing, is connecting with entrepreneurs and letting them know it's a game of this. And anyone who's gotten to the end and anyone who's gotten to the highest of highs understands that. This is way more of a mental game than anything else. And when you can get that mental baggage right and focus it correctly, you win, and so do the people that you serve.
Exactly true. Yeah. And I just was reading something the other day, is that every journey you have to start within.
Yeah.
Because you can't, out here, you have no control over.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that you have control over is what's in here. And this is where you can start. And one of the things for me is that it is just so cool and so enlightening and so much fun when you see the light bulb go on for the very first time, where somebody becomes aware that, oh, this can change.
Yeah.
I have to go within to find that change.
Mm-hmm.
And when you see that light bulb go on, that is the coolest moment has a coach.
Yeah.
You can really see it. And that's when you know that you're going to be influencing, the people around you. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
100%.
Yeah. So Carol looked like she was going to say something.
No, my wheels are turning.
Yeah, but that's one of the things about having such a wide variety of people around us,
Mm-hmm.
because we can learn from so many other people. And that's one of the things that I really battle against a little bit, is the people that go, oh, I can only talk to these kinds of people. No, talk to everybody, because you never know who you are going to learn something from.
And you can learn something from every single person, whether they are above you, quote unquote, on the social scale, below you on the social scale. Everybody has a part to play. And everybody knows something you don't know. It doesn't be one thing, I mean, if you're, and even somebody that's very intellectual and very smart and knows so much, they may not know how to cut a board and hammer a nail.
Oh yeah.
So, it just, and people think, oh, I know so much because I have all this book smart. Well, you may not have any common sense.
Right, exactly.
So yeah,
I know some friends of mine, a couple that I knew, don't give him a hammer ever. and yet his wife built a deck, but built on the back of their house. And
Yeah.
people come over and say, wow, this is absolutely a beautiful deck. Did you have somebody make it? And she would say, no, I made it. And it's like,
Mhm.
you made it? Yeah, I built it. And but her husband don't give him a hammer.
Yeah.
I mean, he was supposed to, one time he was supposed to put up a picture. She told him exactly where to put it, what size nail to. The next thing they knew, they had to replace part of the wall. See, they had to place part of the wall.
That's rich. That's
Oh,
rich.
we laughed, but boy, I mean, he was in Mensa. I mean, he was up here, college professor, just one of the huge universities in Montreal. Absolutely a brilliant man, but don't give him a hammer. And we would laugh. We was like, don't give Don a hammer. And she would say that, yeah.
But
But
you
if
know,
you wanted to ask him something,
that's something our education system has failed us at.
yes,
Especially, used to they did in high school they taught the trades.
right,
And then it got to be, oh no, you have to go to college. Tradespeople are down here. And
yeah,
I mean, I'd much rather have somebody no college debt making really good money more than the people who are doctors and can't get a job as a doctor, or a lawyer who can't get a place, any of those college things, but they've got all the certificates on the wall.
right.
But,
Listen,
it's like
yeah.
it's like putting our society into slavery
Right.
for a piece of paper that really is meaningless. And I'm not against college. I mean, my son is a professor at a college and stuff. And he's my oldest. And the other two, are contractors. And so I've got both sides of the spectrum. So I'm saying, don't think that the college degree is all that, because you may not be able to feed your family with it. I mean, he does
Right.
well with it,
And I think one of my biggest things is each child has different talents. If you are an academic, like my oldest grand is like so smart, passed honor rolls, going to be a forensic scientist. Absolutely. I'm just, one of the other ones is math up the yin yang. I don't understand sometimes what she's talking about. Math up the yin yang. But then we've got another one that, boy, he's absolutely, give him a hammer. They built a railing for our little local restaurant on our driveway. It was just the funnest thing to watch them, because they knew exactly how to put it together. We need everybody. We need people.
If with all of us, the puzzle makes a beautiful picture. But
Right.
so often people think, oh, those edge pieces are worthless, or who needs all the blue pieces that make up the house front? It's like, I'd rather be a window. I've got lots of different colors on or a flower. And so, yeah, without the different, we need to learn to value other people. And it's just like in the Bible, it talks about, raise your child with their bent and leaning, because every one of us have gifts and talents put inside of us. So raise up the child with their bent and leaning, and when they're old, they won't depart from it. And so many people that especially Barbara and I work with, they're in the latter part of their life and they don't know what they do. They don't know what to do. And I think one thing the lockdown did was it made people stop and take a look inside. People who they couldn't be what they all they were was what they did. And they had to read that when all that crashed and they didn't have a job to go to, or they were locked out of their jobs for 6 months, a year, 2 years. Some of them still. And that's why we've had this just plethora of new teachers, coaches, artists. I mean, people learning how to do things online that didn't know how to turn on a computer 3 years ago, 4 years ago.
Right. didn't know what Zoom was.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I think we've come a long way in the last few years. And I think it's just become, it's the great awakening that there's more to life than what you do. And I think that's been the biggest thing for me, is that that's who I tend to work with. Who are you within what you do? And so many people, they have no idea, because they get their worth, they describe themselves by what they do or their job title. Who are you within that? Because what you do can change.
On the other side of the whole Zoom thing, it has kept people connected during this time when things are shut down, but it has also taken that touch away. And so people need to, especially if they're sitting in their basement, I'm in my basement, sitting in their basement on Zoom day after day, they need to get outside. They need to talk to people in the real world and touch and hug and, go out to dinner with somebody and all of those type things, because we need both. This has allowed us to well, Barbara and I, she's in Chicago, I'm in Texas, and we still do a show 3 times a week together. But
Right.
It was great when she drove down here and we took a road trip over to Utah and had a blast, but we were together. We were in real world. So it takes a blend of both. And I think people that are shy or fearful have retreated into Zoom world and neglected real world. But then there's people that all they know are the 3 people on their street and maybe one person at the local restaurant. And that's all the people they know.
Yeah. So it's
Not 3 cents.
Yeah. But it's a whole, I think it's coming up to being a whole new world. But I think that it has more and more and more of us connect. I mean, because Zoom has allowed us to meet friends around the world.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
There's Zoom has no distance.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. It's just been a blast. So anyways, so Clifford, what would be your final, just a final?
Did she freeze on me,
Thought for
or
our audience?
final thought? There's a saying, as is above, so is below. And one thing I focus on is, if I want to change the world, well, where do I have to look? And usually it's inside, before you look outside. You do want to look outside because there is an external world, but there's also an internal world. And whenever I look inside, I realize the importance of leadership and the importance of providing a perspective shift.
Mm-hmm.
And ultimately, we're all doing something for something. We don't just wake up just to do things randomly. There's always a reason behind why we're doing what we're doing. And I ask myself, well, why is the society doing what it's doing? Well, because the society is valuing what it's doing and how it's becoming. And ultimately, even speaking on the school systems, um, I've gotten some amazing insights. And then there's also those other pieces of, okay, what's wrong and what isn't working?
Right.
And I look at, instead of what isn't working, what is evolving? Because life is an ever evolving game. It's always changing, it's always adapting. And something that worked at one time might not necessarily work another time. And
Right.
that's where I look and I go, oh, we're getting better as a society. We're getting better because we're seeing what we're seeing. Like, a person can't get better until the pain point is really, really there.
Right.
Now, the pain points are there before the pain is there. It's just the pain makes us realize it and look at it and say, something's not right.
Right.
Um, and in that not rightness is an opportunity.
Right.
And when we say, okay, what am I going to do with this opportunity? That's the beauty of entrepreneurship. is we get to create. And I also say, not only do we create, we consume. You know, whose knowledge are you consuming? What books are
Right.
you consuming? What foods are you consuming?
Right.
And what are you creating?
Are they serving you,
Yeah,
or are they causing you to be out of whack? Like
yeah,
to not be true to you.
yeah, yeah. Because if
Right.
I was
That's the big thing.
consuming a whole thing of alcohol, right?
Yeah.
That's probably not serving me in any way. Like, I mean, it might be numbing the pain of reality, but that's all it's doing. And even
And it's
then,
temporary.
it's gonna still catch up to me the next morning when I wake up with a hangover, and then I still have to deal with the pains anyway. So,
Right.
ask yourself the question: what are you consuming, and what are you creating? Um, and if your life's where you want it to be, great. Keep it up. Keep consuming what you want to consume and keep creating what you want to create. But if your life's not where you want it to be, if something's missing, if something's off, then ask yourself the question, okay, what am I consuming and what am I creating and what don't I like and what can I do to make it better?
Yeah. Absolutely. Good words, good words. And that's absolutely the truth. So,
Thank you.
any last words, Carol? Are you good?
Actually, yes, I do. Last words. I want to say thank you, Clifford. This has been great. And for those of you watching us, if you're on Facebook, please click like and share this out to your friends. And for those of y'all watching us on YouTube, you know what to do. Subscribe, ring the little bell so you'll get a notification. Share it out to your friends and give us a thumbs up because it'll help the algorithms. But thank you so much for joining us for the Aging Experts, and we will see you next week.
See you next time.
Have a great day, everyone.